Hello Aquarius, and welcome to your lunar cycle insight video for the powerful eclipse season of January 2019. So this year really starts as it means to go on, opening up with these powerful eclipses which ask us to reconstruct our lives, to let go of the old and the things that are no longer working, and welcome in some powerful new beginnings. So we start the cycle with a powerful Capricorn new moon solar eclipse, sandwiched in between Saturn, who is of course your ancient ruler, and Pluto, the dark goddess of transformation. And this eclipse really highlights the powerful work we've been doing in the Capricorn section of our birth chart since 2009 with Pluto, and since 2017, December 2017, with Capricorn. So this really shows us how far we've come in learning our deep soul lessons throughout these cycles, because both of these energies are very, very transformative and somewhat contradictory, because Pluto is of course the great eliminator, the great destroyer, the alchemizer, the agent of transformation, the ruler of Scorpio, and Saturn likes to build structure and solidity. So as these two planets are coming together in this space of our birth chart, which for you is the 12th house, over the rest of this year and into early 2020, where they will make their first conjunction, there is this energy of having to continually let go of the old familiar structures, and so that we can create a clear space, a clear template to build the new. So that's very much a collective energy. And for you, it focuses in this 12th house, this house of karmic clearing, of release, of surrender. So for you, these energies in this Capricorn solar eclipse is very much an internal process of letting go. Perhaps we're letting go of some old emotional defenses, some old emotional constructs, some old karmic connections that are no longer serving us. The 12th house is very much multidimensional. It's where the old gives way to the new, or where lifetimes can bleed through, where we find a very deep connection to source, to goddess, where we are very tuned into the other realms of awareness and being. So we can even think about removing some psychic blockages, some old bondage that has kept us from really seeing the truth of the situations in our life and the truth of what needs to be let go of, because sometimes we can be very much in denial about what isn't working in our life. And this eclipse can really bring to the forefront the things that we've been hiding from, or the fears that have stopped us from moving forward. There can be a lot of subconscious fear in the 12th house as well. So perhaps we might think, oh, the old things are crumbling down, and oh, I've got nothing to hold on to. I'm kind of free falling into the void. But we must know, we must bear in mind during this period that everything that we let go of is paving the way for something new and more in alignment to be built. It's the nature of eclipses to, very quickly cast things out of our life and pull new things in that really do put us back on the pathway of evolution that we are destined to be on. So let's not give in to that fear during this period, Aquarius. And in general, with the sun moving through Capricorn, it's the month before your solar return. So this is the time when you might feel like you're lacking energy a bit, lacking life force, and just wanting to let go of the residue of the old year. And I know that we're kind of doing that anyway in January, but it's much more profound for you as you prepare for your rebirth in over the next few weeks. So when we're looking at the 12th house, as well as all this kind of spiritual energy, we can look at things like addictive patterns. You know, quite often our addictions fall in the 12th house because those are the things that we use to numb ourselves to reality. So with the North Node in Cancer in your 6th house as well, it's very likely that you are feeling called to detox your life, to purify, and this eclipse can help with that. So you can set your intentions towards you know, building that new health regime, or that new kind of that new way of eating, or you know, the new structures, the new levels of organization that you want to bring into your life for the new year as well. But don't push yourself too hard, because when we're dealing with the 12th house energy, we can, like I say, feel a little bit more internalized, a little bit more dreamy. So it's very interesting because we also have quite a bit of fire energy manifesting this month. And apologies if you can hear my kitten crying outside the door. I promise you he is not in any pain. He's just desperate to come in while I'm recording the video, and he likes to tip the camera over, so I've had to pop him in the hallway. So I apologise if you can hear him and he's distracting you. I think he's quieting down now. So anyway, that's the Capricorn eclipse, and like I say, we've got some fiery energy moving through this month as well. We've got Mars in his home sign of Aries. He moved into the first sign of the zodiac on the 1st of January, so he really brought in this kind of optimism, this motivation, this drive to move forward for the new year for all of us. And for you, this is falling in your 3rd house of communication and networking. So this can be a time when you feel more driven to speak your truth, to speak your fire. So just be aware that Mars can kind of inflame our throat chakra a bit as well. So an Aries can be a bit of an impulsive energy, so we might want to think before we speak during this period. But he can also amplify our social environment. So we might find that we are being pulled out into the world by our friends and acquaintances, or by networking events and the like. But bear in mind that there is that 12th house activity as well, so give yourself the time to rest and replenish that you need during this cycle. Jupiter and Venus on the 7th, you know, Venus is going to enter Sagittarius. She's going to join Jupiter on the 22nd. They're both moving through your 11th house of opportunity, of synchronicity, of individual purpose and friendship groups and circles. So again, we kind of see this social energy that's slightly at odds with the sun moving through your 12th house. But this is a time when there can be a lot of opportunity coming through other people, particularly your friends. This can be a time when you're very much supported by other people in the pursuit of your big visions and goals. So, you know, if you do feel up to socializing, then it can be a very beneficial time for you to do that. And we may find, you know, for those of you who are seeking a partner in the new year, you may find that you meet somebody through a social event, through a friendship group, through a friendship circle as well. And if you want to learn more about Jupiter in your 11th house, because that's a long-term transit that will be going on all year, you can reflect back on my November lunar cycle insight videos, and you will hear that and what that means for you, and how you can work with that throughout the next cycle to generate abundance and fortune and blessings. So the eclipse tunnel will come to a close with a full moon blood moon, cold moon, super moon, everything moon, full moon in the sign of Leo, your opposite sign. And this eclipse brings closure to the cycle of eclipses that took place when the nodes were in Leo and Aquarius, so your sign and your opposite sign. So they would have been very profoundly affecting you. And we've talked about this before, Aquarius. You know, last year was a big year for you with that supermoon eclipse and Mars retrograding in your sign and the eclipses in your opposite sign, and not to mention all of the Scorpio energy that was challenging you as well. So we know that you've been through this deep initiation process, and this full moon can bring closure to that. It brings closure to the past 18 months, and particularly it brings closure to things that were initiated around August last year at the Leo new moon solar eclipse, which fell just after the Lion's Gate on the 11th of August. So this eclipse will fall in your 7th house of partnership. So this can bring clearing and clarity to any relationship issues or anything that you've been working with to do with your connection to other people. And like I say, the last 18 months were a big learning process for you with the North Node in this space of your birth chart. So if there is any residual energy, there's any residual lessons around these Leo themes of, you know, open-heartedness in relationships, of feeling worthy enough to be loved, then they can come up to be looked at and cleared during this moon. So we have a bit of a relationship theme going on this month with the 3rd, 11th and 7th houses being illuminated. So perhaps, you know, this can be a month where you meet people who are going to be important to you for the next cycle, people that are going to help you to build those big visions, those big dreams that are being awakened by Jupiter in your 11th house of purpose and service. So we can look at this kind of energy of transformational fire coming through your chart. We can look at this energy where we're doing some deep releasing, but the releasing that we're doing is creating the way for beneficial connections. So I'm going to pick a card for you to guide you through this cycle, Aquarius. And this is from the Goddess Guidance Oracle. So let's see which divine feminine archetype is going to come through for you this month. Interesting. So we have boundaries, the goddess Ishtar, or Inanna, Venus. So this is love yourself enough to say no to others' demands on your time and energy, which is really significant with what we were just saying with the social houses being activated. We've got another cat coming to say hello now. With the social houses being activated in your birth chart, yet also the 12th house. So this may be a time when people are going, come on, you know, come and do this, join this circle, come to this event with me. Or you may be feeling like, oh, I really need to be putting myself out there. I really need to be, you know, getting this new year off to a exciting start. I need to be more motivated. I need to be more driven. Yet the 12th house says, hang on, you know, come back into yourself. Everything starts with you. There's no point pushing and striving or trying to fulfill the needs of other people if you're not feeling clear and centered within yourself. So this is a time, particularly with the full moon in your 7th house, when you can think of what boundaries do I have that are appropriate. So which ones are needed and which ones are unhealthy, which ones are keeping my energy safe and protected, and which ones are blocking the flow of intimacy and connection, and how can I make adjustments. And this can be a time of tuning into your own deep inner needs and fears and blockages around intimacy as well. So it's about knowing what is right, what is appropriate for you, Aquarius, because everybody has different needs in these areas. So I hope that this reading has served you. Thank you so much for listening to me. If you wish to connect with me further, you can click the links below this video. I'm wishing you a very, very beautiful start to the new year and a transformative eclipse cycle. So much love.